Alrighty guys, today is a very special video today. As you guys saw in the title, this is my 1,000 subscriber special as we have finally hit that milestone, and I'm going to bring you my top 5 builds here in Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. And this video purely focuses on trying to get good damage, good versatility, and also just destroying bosses in Elden Ring. And if you find these builds helpful, guys, make sure to drop a like and consider subscribing. We will be providing you tons of content here on the channel, especially with all the new games coming out, especially since we are a variety channel. But to celebrate the 1,000 milestone, we are going to be doing another giveaway here on the channel. We will announce the winners next Thursday on August 8th, 2024 at around 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be doing 2 winners at this time. So the first place winner will be granted a $100 US dollar gaming gift card of your choice, whether it be Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, anything of your choice. And then the second place winner will be a $25 of, again, gaming gift card of your choice. So again, thank you so much, guys, and all you have to do to enter is like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop down in the comments below LDG. So with all that out of the way, guys, let's get right into these awesome builds. So the first build that we have on this list deals with the Beast Claws. They since increased the attack power and the poise value of Red Bear Hunt from the Red Bear Beast Claws, and I'm pairing it with the regular Beast Claws with the Blood Affinity, and we have Savage Beast Claws as the Ash of War. And you see how quickly I defeated Mog here with our Mimic Tier guy, because we are doing a ton of damage with Bleed with the setup that I have here. Okay, so for the Beast Claw setup, I'm using the Red Bear's Claw in the right hand, and then pairing that with the regular Beast Claws in the offhand with the Savage Claws Ash of War with the Blood Affinity, using the Claw Mark Seal just for the buffs, but because I also have Strength and Faith. I have the White Mask for the Blood Loss build-up boost, and then I have the Raksasha set for the rest because attack boost. I have the Two-Headed Turtle Talisman, Rotten Wing Sword Insignia, the Lord of Blood's Exaltation, and the Shard of Alexander. Now, as for the Flask of Wondrous Physic, I have the Opaline Hard Tier to help negate some more damage, and I have the Stone Bard Crack Tier to help us stance break enemies faster. And then I'm also having the Sacred Bloody Flesh consumable, because this also boosts our attack power and arcane, and also increases attack when blood loss occurs. So we have 3 separate blood loss buffs with this build. It's absolutely insane. And as for the stats, I have 60 Vigor, 24 Mind, 25 Endurance, 80 Strength, 40 Dex, 16 Intelligence, 25 Faith, and 9 Arcane. Again, you don't need any intelligence in this build. This is just my astrologer guy. You could probably put more points in the Dex, but I have more Strength in Dex because you get more out of Strength from the physical attacks of the Beast Claws. Now, as for the summon, you could just use Mimic Tier to get more blood loss, or if you want a blood loss enemy, blood loss summon, you could use the Blood Fiend Hexer's Ashes as well. And of course, you would just use the Radahn's Great Rune for all of the builds that I'm about to show you guys. And the next build that we have on our list is pretty much an enhanced version of the Crucible Knight build that I had previously made. But in this case, we are using the Greatsword paired with the aspects of the Crucible Wings Ash of War. With the post-patch 1.13, they enhanced the attack power and also gave you more poise generated while using this skill, and also gave you some directional control as well, so that way it's just a more quality of life and also damage buff to this Ash of War, which is absolutely insane. And all the damage that you're seeing here is in New Game Plus, so I'm going to show you guys the build. So with this, I'm using the Greatsword with the Sacred Affinity on it, and then I'm pairing that with the Claw Mark Seal because we're using Faith and Strength. And then I have the full Crucible Knight set. I'm using the Hammer Helm with the Crucible Axe with all of the Crucible armor to enhance our damage. I'm using Erdtree's Favorite +2, Two-Handed Sword Talisman, the Sacred Scorpion Charm, and the Shard of Alexander. And for the flask, I'm using the Green Purse Crystal tier and the Holy Shrouding Crack tier to increase our holy damage of our Crucible attack and also our Greatsword. Now moving on to the stats, I have 60 Vigor, 22 Mind, 40 Endurance, 50 Strength, 12 Dexterity, 16 Intelligence, 70 Faith, and 9 Arcane. Again, you could not use Intelligence because I have my Astrologer guy using this, so you could put more points into Faith or Strength, whichever one you prefer. And then for the summon, I like using the Black Knight Captain Hugh because he also does Crucible stuff, so just having 2 Crucible Knights on the field just, looks absolutely badass. Now the next build that we have on our list, this is a full Raksasha build, so using the full armor set with the Rakshana's Katana. They increase the attack speed of the swings with the Weed Cutter Ash of War, and as you can see, I'm just chewing through Moog here before he can even get to second phase. So let me show you guys the build real quick. So for this build, of course, like I said, we're going to be using the Rakshasha's Great Katana, and then I just have any sealed, so that way we can get our Golden Vow and Flame Grant Me Strength buff. I have the full Rakshasha set. And then for the talismans, I have the Two-Headed Turtle Talisman, the Lord of Blood's Exaltation, Rotten Wing Sword Insignia, and the Shard of Alexander. And for the Flask of Wondrous Physic, I'm using the Thorny Crack tier and the Opaline Heart tier to give us some damage negation because of the Raksasha set. You could also use the Sacred Bloody Flesh consumable like we did in the first build, because this will also increase our attack power and also increase our attack after blood loss is occurred. Now moving on to the stats, I have 60 Vigor, 21 Mind, 30 Endurance, 38 Strength, 80 Dexterity, 16 Intelligence, 25 Faith, and 9 Arcane. Again, you don't need any Intelligence on this build. You could put more points into Endurance if you want. And then for the summon, I like using the new Blood Fiend Hexer Ashes because he will help you get blood loss within the vicinity to help you get your damage buff from the Lord of Blood's Exaltation. And the fourth build that I have on this list is using the Savage Lion's Claw Ash of War. I have it with the Greatsword. I have a heavy infinity on it. They increase the attack power and poise damage of the first attack of the Savage Lion's Claw, so it's much more viable, and it's easier to land the second attack as well. So I am using this Ash of War, and I have it paired with a really nice build. Let me show you guys real quick. Alright, so I'm using the Greatsword with the heavy affinity on it, of course, with Savage Lion's Claw. And then I have Freya's Greatsword on the offhand because it gives you a damage buff for red main skills, which is what Lion Claw is. So Savage Lion's Claw gets a damage buff when you have this in the offhand. Have the Claw Mark seal so that way we can get our buffs. The full Raksasha set. Of the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman, Two-Headed Turtle Talisman, the Blade of Mercy, so when we get a knock or a crit, we'll get more damage, and then Shard of Alexander. For the flask, I'm using the Stone Barbed Crack tier to stance break a lot easier, and I'm having the Opaline Heart tier to help with the damage negation. Now, as for the summon, you can pretty much use whatever one you want. You could do Telu the Golem Smith, you could do Black Knight Tish to put a health debuff on the enemy, or you could just go with good old Mimic tier, that way you can build up the stagger more easily. And now for the stats of this build, I'm using 60 Vigor, 23 Mind, 35 Endurance, maximum Strength, 12 Dexterity, 16 Intelligence, 25 Faith, and 9 Arcane. And now you could easily take some points off of the Strength here and pump them into Endurance, so that way you guys don't fat roll with everything that you have on. Okay, and I saved the best one for last for you guys. I know you guys have been loving the Euporia build that I had on the channel, but this takes it a step further. The Euporia got a insane buff with the new patch 1.13. They increased the holy damage when the weapon has its luster restored. They decreased the number of attacks required to restore the weapon's luster, and also increase the duration of the luster restoration effect, so the buff lasts a lot longer, and you can just absolutely melt people with this build. Now, of course, I'm using the Euphoria in the main hand, and then I'm pairing it with the Gargoyle's Twin Blade with the Sacred Affinity with Sacred Blade. I have the Erdtree seal, so because just we have high faith. I have the full Raksasha set for the damage increase, and now the 4th talisman slot I have empty here because you guys can use this pretty much as a flex slot. You could use the 2-headed turtle talisman if you would like to, but I also have it paired with the Sacred Scorpion Charm, the Rotten Wing Sword Insignia, and the Shard of Alexander. And now for the Flask of Wonders Physic, I like using the Holy Shrouding Crack tier and the Green Burst Crystal tier. Now, if you don't want to pair this, you could easily swap out the 2-headed turtle talisman for something like the Dragon Crest Great Shield talisman or the Claw talisman to enhance the jump attacks. Now for the stats, I have 60 Vigor, 30 Mind, 30 Endurance, 27 Strength, 27 Dex, 16 Intelligence, 80 Faith, and 9 Arcane. And then for the summon, I like using the Divine Bird Warrior Ornus because he is an awesome holy warrior to have paired with this build. And there you have it, guys. That is my very first top 5 build video for Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, and it was a very special one. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you did, make sure to drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. We'll have more content coming your way, guys. And again, thank you so much for the 1,000 and plus of you that have joined the Lostdazegaming family. If you want to join us even further, check out the links in the description below where you become a member of the channel, or you can also join our Discord to play with other people and talk about all sorts of games as well. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Again, remember about the giveaway, all the rules, I'll have them down in the description below. And thank you so much again. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next video. Deuces.